Welcome all to the DJ Reminisce show, where I talk about things that are important to me. Hopefully you guys will like the same things too. And let's get right into it. First things first, two of the biggest icons in the Bhangra music industry, Malkit Singh and Shinda, released a song on the same day with basically the same title. And here's the best part, both songs sound the same. Now you're probably wondering, how the fuck did that happen? And that is why we're having this conversation. Look, right off the bat, I'm not hating on either one of them, but I beg to ask the question, why would you want to release the same song with the same theme, with the same title, basically the same melody on the exact same day? I honestly just don't get it. See, the big problem with this, guys, is you basically told everybody in the industry and anyone else wants to be an artist that it's okay to do stuff like this, that you can sing the same song, that it's okay to rip each other off. And this is something you just don't expect from two legendary icons. I mean, Shinda and Malkit Singh are the biggest names in the UK Bhangra industry. So to go out and do something like this, it's a shake my head moment. You know what I mean? Was it really necessary? All I know is this. If I was their manager, or if I was a label manager, and I knew that something like this was going down, or there's another artist with a similar thing coming out, I would probably put the brakes on the product. You know what I mean? Because now you've released this record. Now you've basically killed each other. It's a volatile market as it is. So why would you want to give people the option to pick one or the other? I think this is the first time in a long time that something like this has ever happened. I can't remember when the last time this happened. I mean, if you don't believe me, go check out both records. They sound exactly the same pretty much. I mean, let me put it into perspective for you. This is like Drake and The Weeknd singing the exact same song with the same title, same melody, and releasing it on the same day. Yeah, I know that sounds ridiculous, but this is exactly what happened. To be honest, this was a PR mistake that should never have happened. Like I said, someone higher up should have put the brakes on. But hey, it's all good. If you're into selfies, now you got two songs to choose from, and maybe you like both of them. Who knows? So yo, check this out. This story is actually, it's pretty sad. But you know what? It could happen to, one of your friends or cousins or nephews or children. Basically, a Nova Scotia man is calling on Air Canada to improve its policy around transporting minors after his grandson was bumped from a flight while traveling alone, and he slept on the floor at Toronto Pearson's International Airport. So basically what happened, this kid was bumped and he was stuck at the airport, and poor kid had to sleep on the floor and stuff. They gave him a $10 food voucher. Basically in Toronto airport buys you nothing, said Brian Truelove, Levy's grandfather. This is ridiculous. Like, how can you, a big airline like that, that probably flies, all their flights with children on it, you know what I mean? And they have no idea about this kid sleeping on the, like there's no words that can describe how stupid this situation is. Like, you're Air Canada, you know what I mean? You guys are one of the biggest airlines in the world. And you would think that you would treat your minors with a little bit of respect. I mean, he's 15 years old, you know what I mean? And you've left him alone in this big airport by himself. Honestly, if that was my kid, I'd be just shitting it. I'd be freaking out, calling everybody that I could think of. You know what I mean? It's uncalled for. And it's true. It says right here, I think it's uncalled for, True Love said. You do not bump a minor. And it's ridiculous. Like, I remember I flew, this is going way back, like 14, 15. That wasn't too far. I think it was to Kamloops. And at that time, it was weird. Like, it wasn't, they put you on the plane. It's like, I'm not expecting royal treatment. That's not what I'm saying, right? But you figured being a minor that you get certain, walk you onto the plane or take you off, make sure you're okay. But none of that happened. So, I really hope that Air Canada changes their policy, because this is just absolutely ridiculous that this poor kid had to be stuck in this airport all by himself. And you know what? These airports are huge and massive. A lot of people. I don't know how this 15-year-old kid handles these kind of situations. He seems like he's okay, thankfully. But then again, there's some kids that can do that, right? Some kids will freak out. I mean, Air Canada's response is, even if a parent has not asked for our unaccompanied minor service, our agents will take care of a child or teenager in need of support. Once our agents realized he was a teenager, we made arrangements for him on a later flight with a relative. I feel bad for this kid, but hopefully Air Canada can sort themselves out. Famous Punjabi singer Ranjit Bawa, who's in the news due to ban on his recent movie Tufan Singh, was manhandled while performing on stage. Some asshole actually came up on stage and took his bug off, which is very insulting. And you know what? I'm surprised this guy never got his head kicked in. Basically, they were on stage, he hugged him, and then he came back on stage somehow and basically removed his spot, and that's what probably pissed Ranjit Bawa off. And first things first, how the hell did he get on stage? That's a separate issue. It's just operators have this thing where they need to be on the goddamn stage, right? I don't know what it is. You can't sit in your seat that you paid for and watch the show properly, but you got to jump on stage and have your entourage with you. Again, that's a separate issue. But you know what? Going on stage and someone of Ranjit Bawa's caliber, I mean, this guy's a star, man. And he's obviously starring in a bunch of movies. And he's starring in this movie, Tufan Singh. And then you have the gall to go up on stage and actually take his bug off. You know what I mean? Like, that's just really, really sad. And it's pathetic. And, you know, not only did you disrespect, you know, Ranjit Bawa, but you disrespected, you know, Sardars around the world by doing that. And I'm sure, you know, Sardars around the world were lit up when they did this. It's like shit like this really pisses me off when you got asshole fans like this that, you know, are able to do that. Now, I don't know what the security situation was. This happened, looks like, in India. So it is what it is, right? It's probably who you know situation. Like, this is one of those things that you just don't do. You know what I mean? The bug only comes off for various reasons. And then you don't have that right to do that. It's just too bad this article doesn't say what actually happened to that person. I'm assuming they got kicked out of the concert. Again, I have no idea. It doesn't really say. But regardless, on the way out, I wonder if you got a couple of chipera. Who knows? But yeah, man, it's really sad this happened to Ranjit Bawa. But hopefully he can get past this and keep kicking ass like he's doing right now. All right, guys, those of you that are following the election in the United States, the comedy of it, you know, it's very, very Bollywoodish, unfortunately. But Donald Trump is in the news again, and this time he said some really stupid ass shit. He's like, basically, he said on Wednesday that he hoped Russian intelligence services successfully hacked Hillary Clinton's email and encouraged them to publish whatever they may have stolen, essentially urging a foreign adversary to conduct cyber espionage against a former Secretary of State. Do you understand what you just said, homeboy? Like, you're basically saying and giving Russia full power to come in and start hacking Hillary Clinton's accounts. This is a presidential nominee for those of you that are in the United States that are listening to this show right now. This guy could be your next mama. And this is the kind of shit that comes out of his mouth. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, like, who says this shit? You know what I mean? Like, this isn't politics. This is like watching some sort of soap opera on Fox TV. Like, I just don't understand how people have, you know, fallen for this stuff. I mean, you just don't say shit like this. I mean, I'm surprised they haven't charged this guy for treason for saying something like this. You know what I mean? You know, it's almost like he lives for this publicity, you know, because the Democratic National Convention was on and it got a lot of play. And then, you know, it's like Donald Trump wasn't really in the news. And as soon as that's over, he comes out and says something totally irrational and just totally fucking stupid. And just to get back into the media. You know, if that's his play, smart play. I don't know, man. It's just one of those things. Like, those of you in the U.S., this guy becomes your president. Not only does he have, you know, the most powerful army in the world, but now he's got access to those nuclear launch codes. I want you to think about that. All right, fam. Hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Please like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel. That way, stay up to date with the latest, greatest information. I'm your boy, DJ Reminisce. Peace out.